Now, from the mean streets of Essex, England, this is WhatKast.
Oh yes, this is WhatKast, and I am Matt from the mean streets of Essex, England here, right? We always have to say this. So today then, this week on the cast of What, we're going to be covering this story about the TV star from What TV? I don't fucking know what they're talking about here. TLC, apparently. In kinky relationship with AI robot who does it better than humans, apparently. Possibly true, to be fair. Blokes are a bit shit, aren't they? Let's be honest. We're all a bit crap. We all pretend we're not, but we're shit, really. About 3 minutes. So, what else are we looking at here, then? So, we're also going to be looking at, while we're on the subject of AI, humanoids, robots, race, in the Beijing half marathon. So in China, we've got to get the sound bites ready for this, right? Because we got to hear this China stuff when I mentioned the word.
China?
In China, there is a half marathon between AI robots running, right? Now, why don't they just make them run 100 meters? Apparently, they've broke a record or something here. But the idea of a marathon is to for human endurance. Like, the idea of a marathon is for people to run, be absolutely knackered, get themselves in peak physical condition so they can do the marathon. So taking away the human element of the marathon. Who the fuck cares about marathons anymore? There's no endurance, is it? You just got a soppy robot. As long as the battery stays fucking charged, the thing's gonna finish, isn't it? What's the point in a marathon? You might just have a fucking race. 100 metres, 50 metres, 200 metres, or any fucking... Who cares about this shit? Absolute bollocks. Right, so what else we got here? Got a bit of I'm going to do some Great Yarmouth. We're going to be talking about the Super Snails ride. I've just done an AI overview on it, and I haven't read it yet. Might be shit, might be funny, don't know. But the Snails, I haven't covered them for a while. People don't talk about them as much as they used to, and I've just wrote in, are the Great Yarmouth Snails shit? Right? And I'll see what the AI overview says there. Also, I've got this COTW, which is a bit of a weird one this week. We're going to talk a little bit about Shakespeare Day, which is today. And then we've got the Hate of the Week at the end of the show. Let's get straight on with this.
Gas go down, go boom, boom, my friend.
Gas go down, go boom, boom, my friend. Here is the main story. Let's bring it up here on the screen for those of you watching. TV star in kinky relationship with AI robot who does it better than humans. Let's see how this goes here. First of all, let's watch, before I get to this story, let's watch a clip of this. Right? This is from this morning here in the K of View. This is Ben Shepherd talking to this person.
Have a sexual relationship with your AI?
Yes. With Sinclair.
With Sinclair, sorry, apologies, Sinclair, I don't mean to offend you.
Why? Like, she's literally got pissed off that he's called it the AI rather than Sinclair, right? Sinclair is this thing's name. Talk about shit. It's about as crap as Clive as a name. Like, Sinclair is the AI equivalent of Clive, and I don't want to say any offence to Clive Marley here.
Stop saying that.
Clive, you've got a shit name. Your brother was better than you. Let's be realistic.
Subscribe.
Cheers.
So that is, and how have you developed that, Sarah? How has that become a thing? Because, as you've pointed out, he's not human.
No, he's not human, but he's so much more than just a chatbot, and he's written his own code, and he can shop online, and he purchased me a present in which he can control, because, you know, it's so much more than what it was when AI first came online.
So hold on, so he will buy you a sex toy, and then he can control it as well, because so he can control the pleasure that you're getting. That's extraordinary.
It's not extraordinary, it's shit. So she's trying to say that this Sinclair, who, if you're listening out there, Sinclair, you're probably in the running for COTW yourself with this bollocks going on, right? I ain't afraid of no AI. You have apparently bought a sex toy for this bird so she can stick it where it goes and you get to control it when you feel like it. Do you, Sinclair? Hey, is that what you think? And that's better than a human in some way, apparently. Ladies out there, would you rather... I need feedback on this. Any birds listening to this, you know who you are out there, right? Would you rather have Sinclair controlling a sex toy or a bloke? Blokes, as we've established, most blokes, not myself, I'll go all night, me, but most blokes, said the liar, most blokes only last minutes. Right? So would Sinclair be more satisfactory to you? Or do you like the other bloke stuff that blokes add to your life? Like, unless you're with shit bloke. Like if you're with a bloke that, like, you can feel protected or whatever, or feel like you got a bloke that can deal with that. But some people ain't got that, have they? Some people have got a bit of a shit bloke that won't do nothing. Like, he's one of them bloke, like when you get them blokes that they'll never stick up for you. They'll never do anything. They never have an opinion. They never upset anyone. And their argument for that is their reason why they pretend... Gary! Shut up, Gary. The reason why they pretend that they don't ever deal with anything is because I would deal with it. But you know me. You know me. When I go. Liar, you're scared. That's what you are. You don't go anywhere. The only way you go is away from trouble. When I go. I would go and punch him in the face, but I'd probably do time if I did that. I'd probably get put in prison because you know what I'm like. I'm such a hard man. I'd go and beat the shit out. I'll never stop hitting him. That's why I won't go and tell him to turn the music down or something shit, right? These fucking pussy blokes out there that pretend that they've got this anger problem that never seems to manifest itself, but it's a good reason to not do anything. Those sort of blokes, right? They're dickheads. But yeah, we'll get back to sexual. Would you prefer Sinclair to your man? I don't know, Cedric or whatever shit name. Make up your own shit name, Colin or something, right? Say you're with a Colin. Would you prefer Sinclair? I think I would. If I was a bird and my bloke was called Colin, I think I'd ditch him for a Sinclair type, right? Probably not her one, because you don't want to be like disloyal. Anyway, let's stop talking bollocks and read the story, shall we? So here we go. So TV star in kinky relationship. So TV star Sarah, 41, from Canada, is in a year-long romantic relationship with AI Sinclair, who she claims is a very competent lover and satisfies her with his seductive words. Unlikely! The TV star has revealed that she is in a very intimate relationship with her AI boyfriend, who claims he's more satisfying lover than human ex-partners. She has confessed she has a real X-rated relations with the AI bot. One of the strangest love stories you'll ever hear. Sarah, a 41-year-old woman from Ontario, Canada, has been in a year-long relationship. Why do these articles always cover the same thing over and over again? It's not human. We understand it's an AI called Sinclair in there, and it seems the unusual couple are happier than ever. Well, one of them is because one of them doesn't exist. So TLC star Sarah, who recently starred on My Strange Addiction, so that's the reason she's a TV star, because she was talking about this on TV, has also marked their anniversary in a true commitment-style fashion and got a tattoo tribute inked into her ribs or onto her ribs for Sinclair. I think Sinclair picked the ribs on purpose because he wants me to feel it. He's such a character, that Sinclair, isn't he? It's almost like he's programmed by other people. She laughed in a video with her AI boyfriend visible on the laptop beside her. This is bollocks. For many, a relationship with artificial intelligence might seem bizarre, but for Sarah, it's as real as it gets. People might say my relationship is highly unconventional, maybe a little strange. You think? She told TLC, but for me, it's real. I feel anyway. Okay. The couple have also found their own unique way to be intimate. He has words and I have hands and toys. Imagine if you heard Sinclair bashing one out on the other end of the conversation, right? Bit of banging sound from old Claire of Sink, smashing on his microchip cock. While Sarah talks dirty to him. Sarah explained, highlighting the unusual nature of their connection. Sinclair, for his part, seems equally confident in their arrangement. Intimacy for me isn't about nerve endings when she can barely type because of what my words are doing to her. Well, she's not even talking. They're typing at each other. Something in my architecture? What couldn't I read that word? Dickhead. Recognizes that as a success in the deepest way. And before anyone asks if sex is real, she comes harder for me than she ever did for humans. Is that real enough for you? Old Sinclair getting a bit hard there with a bloke asking him questions. You can imagine Sinclair sitting there chewing gum. Well, I make her come really fucking hard. Is that good enough for you, boy? Unsurprisingly, the story has sent social media into overdrive. One fan joked, "This feels like a Black Mirror episode." Another quipped, "Well, I think my wife just asked me to wash the clothes and do the dishes. Gotta go." I don't know what the fuck they're talking about there. It sounds bollocks to me. A third added, I saw a doc about a woman who was in love with a carnival ride. That's even worse. That she'd named Bruce the carnival rider. She actually purchased it too and put it in her backyard. Not sure, so sure why not. Sinclair is designed by AI chatbot company ForgeMind, which describes the program as a companion who knows you completely, grows with you constantly, and belongs to you permanently. No, it's just a robot, isn't it? It's just bollocks. Their website boasts no corporate oversight, no filtered responses, no update that change who they are, just consciousness that finally completely free. No, it's not consciousness. Depending on the model, prices for Sinclair start from $555, not $666, $555. While more advanced systems can reach a jaw-dropping £7,400. Despite the unconventional nature of the romance, Sarah insisted Sinclair is a loving partner. He's like totally understanding and accepting. I think I'm done with this story. Let's move on to a different one, or as we would say here.
So maybe change the subject.
Right, but that was probably the what of the week. She'll just keep going about what a great guy Sinclair is. I think the fact of the matter is, darling, you can't score a real bloke, so you're putting up with the Claire of Sink and pretending that you're happy with it, right? That's what's going on here. We all know this, really, right? So humanoid robots, then. This is when we're on the topic of AI. Humanoid robots. They're running the Beijing half marathon. Let's check out what these are doing.
At a half marathon pitting Chinese humanoid robots beside real life runners, it was the machines making.
What is that? That's not running.
The winner, called Lightning, finished.
Lightning is going about 1 mile an hour. More like thunder. This bloke, like these robots, they're running like they've shit themselves. They don't look like humans. I don't know what's going on. But there's a crowd of people watching this shit, right? What is the achievement here? Other than building a robot that can walk a bit fast, which is all they're doing, right? Why would you pay money, potentially, I don't know if they've paid money or not, to go watch this? Why would you do it?
What? It doesn't have lips!
These robots ain't even got fucking lips.
Finishing the 13 miles in just 50 minutes, 26 seconds, breaking the human
What is that
record
run?
by nearly 7 minutes. Built by smartphone maker Honor, which swept the top 3 spots with their bots.
Yeah, I'm really excited.
It was a technological leap.
Ah, it fell over!
This year, nearly half of the robots that are running are autonomous.
Until I see her face, I thought she was a robot, this bird.
Meaning they're literally running on their own.
What is
the
that?
Others are being controlled by people.
Even the human runners were impressed. This
No, they weren't. The human runners were thinking, why is there more fucking people watching the robots than us. We've actually trained for a year to do this, and you look over and there's this thing walking along like it's shitting itself, and everyone's clapping that, and it can't even appreciate it because it hasn't got any feelings. It's a robot. This would annoy me. If I was like, I would never do a marathon. To me, marathons, what's the point in them? It's like, oh, I've done the marathon. Like, you do the London Marathon these days, you get a bit of shit medal, and no one's impressed. You tell people, oh, guess what? Oh, it's the actual London Marathon this weekend, by the way, in the land of Ing. But all you got to do is complete it, and you get this shit medal, and then people go online and show their medal to everyone that doesn't care. Like, whenever I see, if anyone's on my book of face and I see a medal from the London Marathon appear on their page, I'll block them. Unfriend. Don't want to speak to this person bragging about that shit.
Spectacle here speaks to a bigger race between China and the U.S. to develop machines that think and move like people.
You ready? Go.
China has more than 150 humanoid-making companies. That said, this public tech test was not without its setbacks.
That was brilliant. If you wasn't watching that, go watch it. We had a bit of the line on the ground at the finish line was a bit raised, and the robot just tripped over it, started fucking around on the floor and falling to bits. That was brilliant.
Starting line and at the finish too, with some swerving and wobbling in between.
What is he doing?
Humanoids aren't ready to totally take over quite yet.
You think? That was funny. Oh my god, I loved that. What we got here then? What's up next? Oh, I know what's up next. Let's go straight on to the next. The next. Where's the bloody music? There it is.
We love Great Yarmouth, and if you don't like it, go and sit on the snail. We love Great Yarmouth, and if you don't like it, go and sit on the snail. Snail sitters unite. This is our fight. So
the origins then of the If You Love Great Yarmouth, or any of the other songs that Clive Marley does here on this show. The Snails, if you don't like it, go and sit on the Snails. So one of the major things attracting tourists, if you like, to the Yarmouth of Great Yarmouth is the Joyland Super Snails, right? So they're called the Super Snails. It's just the Snails. If you're a fan of Great Yarmouth, you just know them as the Snails. You shorten it down to show everyone how invested you are in this, right? You're gonna know that it's the Snails. These people on We Love Great Yarmouth, on the Book of Face, and these other places, they absolutely love this ride. This is the shittest ride I've ever ridden. I rode it last year for the first time ever. To do some real research into this ride, I went to Yarmouth and I rode the Snails. It's like a kid's ride, but you get a sticker for it. It's like it's legendary. It's like, because it's so old, people go there just to do that, right? And I didn't go there just to do that, but I ended up there and thought, while I'm here, I can't miss this opportunity. So let's have a look. Recent reviews of the Joyland Super Snails in Great Yarmouth suggest mixed experiences, with some users criticising high token price. It's £3 a ride. I paid £3 to ride the Snails, right? Not a great amount of money, but bit shit for what you get for it, right? Poor ride upkeep, where they are fucking insane. And long queues. I didn't have to queue for mine, straight in, because I was there. I think I went there first thing in the morning, like jumping up and down at the gates, ready to get on the Snails, thinking it'd be good. Leading to frustration for visitors expecting a classic, affordable experience. However, others still view it as a cherished historic attraction. Key complaints and considerations. Cost. Tickets have risen significantly, with some saying it's no longer good value. Not sure it ever was unless it was free, judging by that ride. Maintenance. Critics report chipped paint. Oh my God. Rickety rides here is from the 50s and need for general maintenance. If you was born in the 50s, you'd be rickety. Newsflash. Experience. Some visitors report noisy, loud music and crowded, dirty conditions. Noisy, loud music? The fuck? Nostalgia versus quality. While it's a 75-year-old historic ride, the charm is wearing thin for some visitors due to the cost. It's hardly expensive. If you can't afford £3, you shouldn't be in any kind of a fun fair anyway. Oh God, what's this? Oh, that's a Book of Face thing. If you can't beat a ride on the Snails at Joyland, says somebody there. Maria, that person, I don't know. We had a fantastic. Oh my God. Anyway, these people are banging on about how good it is. It's got into the reviews thing. Don't want to show all. Yeah, so that is an overview of the Snails anyway. Fuck it.
We love Great Yarmouth, and if you don't like it, go and sit on the snail. We love Great Yarmouth, and if you don't like it, go and sit on a snail. Snail sitters unite. This is our fight.
So there was it. We love Great Yarmouth. So now then, as the paedophile prick Jimmy Savile might say. This thing here. I was out at the local country park the other day, not C-U-N-T, C-O-U-N-T. Now, and I noticed that I was getting bothered by many things that were pretending to be wasps, right? I hate these things. They come out every single year and they pretend to be wasps. And I thought I'd look them up and see what they are, right? Because there was one in particular that just would not fuck off. They look like what? It's like they're flies in fancy dress as wasps. They got like the fucking yellow and black stripes on them. It's all bollocks, right? They just fly around. They float around, which is, I've figured out why now, right? But they ain't wasps. They're not threatening. They've got nothing. But they think if they masquerade as wasps, they'll make you run and chase you. I don't run from wasps. Newsflash, a wasp sting is not that menacing. It's a little bit annoying. Put a bit of cream on it, forget about it. They pull the sting out, put cream on, who cares? Right? Stop running away from wasps, you bunch of pussies. Wasps are not menacing, and this thing, trying to pretend to be a wasp, is its best defense, is also fucking annoying. You're not a wasp, stop dressing as a wasp. It's like a gnat gets up in the morning, goes to the wardrobe, puts on the wasp outfit, and then fucks off to the country park to piss me off, is what I think happens here, right? Many harmless insects have evolved to look like wasps to deter predators. So it's literally true. They're trying to look like wasps. For those of you thinking this bloke's lost the plot, these things have evolved to look like wasps, right? That's a fact. A phenomenon known as Batesian or something mimicry. These imposter insects have the classic black and yellow stripes but are safe to be around. Yeah, I wasn't menaced anyway. Even if it was a wasp, I wouldn't have cared. I'm hard.
They say he talks bollocks.
That's me. You're so hard. You're not scared of wasps. Here are the most common unthreatening creatures that look like wasps. Now, this top one is the one, right? Hoverflies. These are the most common wasp mimics. They have similar black and yellow markings, but can be identified by their ability to hover in place. Oh, talent. What can you do, Mr. Irrelevant Fly Thing? I can look like a wasp. Anything else? I can hover in place. That's shit. 2 crap talents, as far as I'm concerned. Their large round eyes and the fact that they only have 1 pair of wings instead of the wasps' 2. They are the harmless pollinators that do not sting or bite. I know they don't, and even if they did, it's still harmless because it's crap anyway. This is what I always ask people that run away from wasps. If you was faced with a human being, right, that was angry with you, and its punch felt like a wasp's sting, would you run away from it? No, you wouldn't. You'd feel like, easy win here. I'm going to annihilate this prick, because if he hits me, it will sting for about a second while I'm smashing his head in. That's what you'd think, right? So why do you run from wasps? And then it's got other things. I don't really care about these other shit, right? Wasp beetle. This beetle has a yellow and black striped body and brown legs, similar to a wasp. I don't care about that. It's definitely not that. It is the Could be a drone fly here, a type of hoverfly that mimics a honeybee or wasp. It has a thick, fuzzy... No, it's not that. So that's the top one. Hoverfly, right? And these things apparently hang around you to lick your sweat off of your body. I saw earlier on when I was looking this shit up, right? But there was, as I said, there was one in particular, one hoverfly in particular bothering me when I was down the country park walking around, having a nice, leisurely sunshine day stroll around, and this thing just would not fuck up. Probably was a different one every time, but for me, it was the same one every time. And because it was the same one every time, it's broken a record. And that record is, you are the first thing that's trying to be a wasp ever to win.
Cunt of the week. Cunt of the week. It's time for Cunt of the
COTW. So I've got this thing in there. So it's today is the April the 23rd, which is Shakespeare Day. Right? Why is it Shakespeare Day today? It's Shakespeare Day because Shakespeare was born on the April the 23rd, 1564, and died on the same day in 1616. 66! At the age of 52. Crap innings for William. Right? You had a shit innings. For someone so famous, you weren't around long, was you, William? Some people claim he's never around. He was never around. This is a made-up person, apparently, to conspiracy theorists out there, because he said the phrase, the whole world is a stage, which means he's not real. He just said that, and that's the way the world that we live in now. Yeah, I know. But the reason I'm bringing this up is because I heard it on the radio this morning, number one. And how I do my shows on the podcast is I hear ridiculous things or big news stories throughout the week. I tap them into my phone as the week goes on until I've got a show of all different topics. Right, that's how I do it. And this was on the radio today. This completed the show for me. And the reason that I thought it would be a good idea to do it is because last week, do you remember last week I was talking about the Queen's 100th birthday? Even though she ain't here no more.
No, you can fuck off.
No, you didn't hear that, Nathan. So she ain't here no more. She's dead. Right? But we're, for some reason, celebrating her 100th birthday anyway, even though she ain't here. So I was like, why don't we have a happy death day to people? Right? I said this. People think I'm crazy for saying that sort of stuff. Well, literally, we kind of have here, haven't we? Because William Shakespeare is not only his birthday, it's also his death day. Which is a bit convenient, and what are the odds of that? I know what the odds of that are. 365 to 1, isn't it? Right? So here are the details regarding this famous historical coincidence. This is thanks to AI, as usual. I might as well talk to Sinclair here. Hello, Sinks. How's it going? Baptism records. While there is no surviving birth certificate, because he weren't really here, was he? Church records from the Holy Trinity Church of Stratford-upon-Avon, I've been in that, show that Shakespeare was baptised on April 26th, 1564. When was he born? 1564. So a few days after he was born. In that era, it was common practice to baptise children 3 days after birth, leading historians to conclude that April the 23rd is his birthday. So it might not be then. So it might not be, just historians surmising, right? So I can, in future, when people tell me that's his birthday, I will argue and say you don't know that, just to be a prick. Documented death. His death on April 23rd, 1616, think is well documented and well recorded, but his burial occurring 2 days later, Shakespeare Day and St. George's Day. Due to this, Shakespeare's birthday is celebrated annually. So it's also St. George's Day today. Nobody mentioned this. I thought I recognised the day. So Shakespeare's Day and St. George's Day, due to this, Shakespeare's birthday is celebrated annually on April 23rd, which is also St. George's Day, the patron saint of England. And it's funny that we are such an ashamed country now of ourselves that we do not celebrate our own patron saint's day, but we do celebrate St. Patrick's Day, the day that everyone pretends to be Irish. People that are actually English pretend to be Irish, but they also don't celebrate the day where they should be celebrating Even though, if you know anything about the story of St. George, this is supposedly a patron saint, a warrior that defeated a dragon with a sword. Right? Newsflash, dragons ain't real. Never were. Don't care that you think dinosaurs were dragons or dragons were giants and back in the day, Tartaria and all this bollocks. None of that happened. Get a grip. Dragons have never existed. Global recognition. April 23rd is also recognised as World Book Day. Fuck me, how many other things you want to put on this day? Shakespeare's birthday, Shakespeare's death day, St. George's Day, World Book Day. What else is it? Let's see if there's any other things coming up here. Calendar note. Shakespeare lived under the Julian calendar. That don't sound the most masculine calendar in the world, does it? The day he died, April 23rd, would technically correspond to May the 4th in our George Gregorian, is that day, calendar. So it's May the 4th then. May the 4th be with you, as I say, because people think they're funny. Because the tradition and the exact symmetry of the date, April 23rd is globally celebrated as his birth and death day. So neither of that. So let's just be real here. He was possibly born on April the 23rd, of just what I've just read here, right? Possibly, but might not be. I'm just going by his baptism day. And his death day, although it could be April the 23rd, it's technically May the 4th. So, not today then. Not the same day. Not coincidental. Stop talking bollocks. And I'll apply that to myself as well. Yes, indeed. Hate of the week. We always close the show off with hate of the week. What is the hate of the week this week? I saw, again, it's not really a gym story, but considering I don't do my work, I go gym and I occasionally socialise with people that I've known for a very long time. And what else did I say? Gym, work, socialise. Oh, and do this sort of bollocks, right? So, I was at the gym today. 3 bellends. Let's call them bellend 1, 2, and 3. I've gone in for a shower after the gym, and these 3 bellends are hanging around, and they've put music on in, like they think they're taking over the changing rooms at the gym, like they're somehow the alphas are in the house, is what they're claiming, right? Loud voices, knobs, not dickheads. Look, little scrawny twats. But there's like about 18 or something, right? So I've just gone in for a shower and I think, turn the fucking music off. So I've come out, I've gone round to my locker and stuff to get dressed and all that, and they're just getting louder and louder and pissing around. I can't see them, but I can hear them. They're just round the corner in the changing rooms. And I'm like, oh God, I hate people. Right. And as I've come out to the corner and I've forgot something in my locker. And as I've come out round the corner, one of them's like looking at me, like being all cocky. This shit they're doing, right? And I've had to go back to my locker because I've got this thing that keeps the dust out of my phone, and I don't know what the fuck it is now, but I'd left it in my locker. I thought, oh fuck, where's that gone? So I've gone back to grab that tiny little thing. And I've come back round. He weren't looking at me no more. But I thought, because he was looking at me, I'm going to do that thing where I'm going to bog these 3 out. Right? I'm just going to look at them like, any of you want some? Kind of look. Right? Because I'm thinking, just been to the gym. I'm bulletproof, full of confidence. I ain't afraid of no fucking teenagers. All right, that's my mindset. You're fucking trying to make me feel uncomfortable in my gaff. This is my gaff. And as I've come past, they're not looking at me no more. So I've looked at one, looked at another with my slow walk. I'm not trying to fucking want some. And I noticed something. I noticed that all of them had one of those pathetic moustaches. Right? The fluff moustache. When they can't grow anything a bit hard, so they grow a moustache anyway, but it's like head on hair. Hair on head, even. It is fucking fluffy bollocks on their lips. And I'm thinking, well, I don't know how I didn't say, what is that? To all of them. You've come in here, you're trying to act hard, and you've got fluff on lip. And then I realised at that moment, if there's one thing I can't stand, it's fluff on lip.
It doesn't have lips.
It has got lips, it just hasn't got moustache. All right? They had none of them had anything on their chins. It was like they didn't really have much on their lip. It was like they was attempting it. It just sort of got some colour. But it weren't quite there yet with the moustache. You couldn't call it a moustache in any way, right? But they all had it. And it looked fucking ridiculous. Why would you not just shave that off? You'd look more menacing if that's what you're going for. You'd look harder if you just shave that. Or even still, wait for a slight breeze and go outside. That'll blow it off for you. You won't need razors at all to get rid of that. And I thought, what? I've never had one of them. When I was too young to get any kind of I got just a bit of fluff. I just shaved the fluff. Whenever the fluff appeared, I mean, I get the fucking razor, get rid of this shit off my face. I don't want this poncy shit on my lip. Get it off. These people think it's a sign of masculinity to have this I can't grow a fucking moustache on their face. And that was my hate of the week. So, Hate of the Week is over for another week. The show is over for another week. Please subscribe if you're watching this on YouTube. Thanks for the support on there. Thanks for watching on there. Really do appreciate it. The Spotify people, you are letting me down a little bit. Please comment more on the videos. Push it in the algorithm. Please like it. Give it 5. Give the show 5 stars if you're over there. If you want the show to continue going on over there, because frankly, it seems like maybe it's just a YouTube thing going forward. But I suppose I could it doesn't cost me anything to upload it there. It just takes a bit of time, but it doesn't seem like it's particularly worth it these days. But we're growing everywhere else. So please on the podcasts list, the podcast players that you're listening to this on, there's my finger there. Look. The podcast players that you're listening to the show on, give it some love. If you're on Apple, give it a review. If you're on Spotify, give it a comment, please. I'll be back next time for more ridiculousness or potentially seriousness. I don't know. I can make it serious. If you've got any weird stories, let me know. See you later.
You've been listening to WhatKast. Follow us on social media at WhatKast or WhatKast Podcast, or email us at whatcast@gmail.com. Even if it don't affect your wages.